Hello, Lakers fans. This is Wilson. No Shane and Mitch with us tonight, but Vito's here. Vito, how you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling great. How are you? Repping the NFC East like I normally do. I'm ready.
Cowboys are 10-3, right?
Man, we're on a nice little win streak right now. Yeah. But I won't get too excited. I won't even shout out his name. But just hopefully what hasn't happened won't happen. All I'm gonna say.
so this was just kind of impromptu. Vito's in a good mood, so we decided to hop on. Um, the Lakers right now, so it's Thursday night, and the Lakers they're 1-1 this week. They lost on Tuesday in Dallas and then came back last night and survived a scare against the Spurs, who've now lost, 18 games in a row, I think it is.
Yeah.
Uh, Anthony Davis continues to dominate. And of course, since the last time we recorded, the Lakers won the in-season tournament. So, man, we really dropped the ball by not recording when that was still kind of fresh.
Right.
Lakers have played two games
Emotions
since
running
then.
high.
Yeah, Lakers have played two games since then. And of course, Shane and Mitch, they're not with us tonight.
Right.
But we're gonna just, this will probably be short since we don't have the whole game. But just,
Okay.
sort of recap the uh last two games. Um and then of course tomorrow on Friday, play the Spurs again in San Antonio also. Um so that the Tuesday game against Dallas, we come out, we're riding high.
Right.
Um, we won the in season tournament, like I said. First of all, let me start with this. How do you feel about the Lakers? Uh, the report the Lakers are going to be hanging a banner for winning the in season tournament.
I'm
You
I'm
know,
glad I'm glad you brought that up, and I'm glad that we can at least just say one little thing from my end about the in season tournament. It's well for the fans, it's not about the money. Maybe for the players it is, especially for the younger youngsters. But I saw competitiveness every game. Um, and you could see the Lakers were playing off of a lot of emotion, and typically that's how we this year so far, that's how we've able to set the tone, playing off of emotion. And I think that's what happened when we kind of came off the such an emotional win like that. And hanging the banner, why not? Why not? If the Clippers would have won that, I would have hung the banner. Shit, I mean, you got to have some type of championship trophy. There's nothing wrong with hanging a banner, man. We're a prideful organization. Hang as many championship banners as you want to. Anybody got shit to say? Win it next year. Win it next year.
well, I think
Okay.
the people who are criticizing, that's kind of their point, but in reverse is that that's something the Clippers would do. Is hang a nine. It's like the Clippers used to hang those like they would win like the division title or something like that, and they'd hang the banner. And the Lakers fans look at that like, well, that's beneath us. We only hang NBA championship banners. Now they won this, from my understanding, Adam
No,
Silver
we
is
hang championship banners. We
right.
hang championship banners. Western Conference champions, right? Do we hang those banners?
I don't think we hang Western
We
Conference
don't hang them.
championship banners.
Okay. Okay. After I seen Jeannie say some crazy shit like after the '09 championship, it didn't really mean anything to me. I hung that in a come on, girl. Don't I don't feel that way about championships, dude. You saw the way the players played, it meant something to them. Uh it's fine. I'm gonna just say this. Was it not a championship banner, Wilson?
It was, but it wasn't an NBA championship banner. It was an in-season
Okay. I
tournament
got you.
banner.
Okay. So in other sports that do this, soccer, Soccer does this all the time. They have in-season tournaments that actually matter all the time. And they take those serious. The players get monetary gain. There's bragging rights. You want to win those important tournaments. And soccer as a whole has definitely pushed the envelope that those tournaments are important, Wilson. So if the Lakers want to hang that, the more in-season tournaments we have, the more competitive nature that we see. If the NBA starts to, pump the in-season tournament up and maybe add something else to it that would make it more of a championship type thing, then that's up to the NBA. But the Lakers, us hanging that, it's special, Anthony. That was special. That was the first in-season tournament ever made. And we won it. That's a big deal. And for people that are saying it's not a big deal, they're entitled to their opinion. I call it haterism. Straight out haterism. You do what you want to do with your titles. We do what we want to do with ours. We don't hang Western conferences. We don't hang first place banners, whatever you want to call it. But we decided to hang this one. It was the first ever inaugural tournament. It meant something to us as an organization, and we hung it up. And I'm going to leave it at that.
Well, yeah, my understanding is that Adam Silver really is the person. Like the Lakers didn't want to. Adam Silver said, he wants it. He wants it, because that'll make people take the tournament more seriously. So the Lakers are doing it.
Wilson, they take those tournaments serious in soccer, man. They really, really do. So it's nothing wrong with him pushing that narrative. They're trying to pump this thing up. Are we going to do it every year? It seems like it is, based off the ratings and based off of the competitive nature in the games again. So why not? Now, we don't have to hang it next year if we choose to. Oh well. We've got a plethora of trophies, plethora of banners, championships. So if we chose to hang them all, that's fine with me. But if you want to live up to that notion of we don't hang nothing else but championship banners that matter, well, I just want to say again, the commissioner is making this a big deal. So if he's saying it's a big deal, it's a big deal, Wilson. So I'm glad we hung it up. I'm glad we hung it up. Put the league on notice that the Lakers are coming. That's all. That's all.
All right. So that's that. And like I said, Lakers have played 2 games since then. Lost to Dallas on Tuesday, came back last night, and were able to survive in San Antonio. LeBron did not play. AD continues to ball. He had 37 and 13 against Dallas and 37 and 10 last night. It almost seemed to me like I had a feeling that, especially when San Antonio started making that run late, it was like, well, because we were in control of the game. It was like, well, when their streak ends, a lot of times when streaks end, they end like in kind of like miraculous fashion. So I could kind of see, as it was unfolding and they kept cutting in the league and Wemby hit those 2 threes, it was kind of like, well, is this about to happen? But the Lakers were able to survive. Like I said, they play San Antonio again tomorrow, also in San Antonio.
Right.
What were your thoughts, on the last 2 games, Vito?
Okay, so again, if you don't know, what's the kid from Dallas? I'm sorry, I went mind blank that fast. Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic just welcomed in maybe 3 games ago his first daughter, and people want to underrate the essence of bringing in your first child. Whatever you do, you're a professional athlete, you're a doctor, you're a regular guy like me, like that's a special week. That's a special 2 weeks. That's the type of aura that as a father you just hold, and you could see it on you. You could see it on Luka. You could see it on me when I welcomed my first daughter to the world, my only daughter, excuse me. So that guy, his aura around him, his emotion, his positivity, the dude, you can't, when you're dealing with a guy, with a man like that, that's in that mode, and he's happy. He it's like he's coming out to play these games so he can hurry up and get back to his daughter. But the mood that he's in, he's such a positive, happy mood. It's dangerous on the court, dude. It translates to the court, and that's all I was gonna say was, did you see Luka's first half? He had a heck of a first half, and all I could think of was, damn, this guy is not yet off of his the high horse of having his daughter. And I was going to say, if we were all smart, you should have been playing Luka's prop bets, his scoring prop bet all week, 35 plus. I think he's hit 35 plus. Well, he's averaging 30 something in December already. So, but I think since his daughter was born, he's averaged like 35 and almost a triple double. So until he's off his high horse, Dallas is dangerous. And that's what we faced. We faced a dangerous Dallas team with Luka on his high horse. And plus, we were coming off an emotional inaugural win. So I can excuse that. I'm glad that we came back last night, because let me tell you, we don't want to be a part of, how can I say this? It's the wedding and the funeral analogy, which is, well, actually, the Spurs have been on their funeral for how many games? 18, you said?
Yeah, like
You don't want to be, and I'm telling you, last night seemed like the wedding for the Spurs. Like, oh my God, dude, why didn't we get on the bandwagon to beat the Spurs the last 18 games? And it just had to be our team to lose? No, I'm glad we took some pride and we put our foot down and we came out with that win. Now, Friday, that's a must win. That's a must win, Wilson, because you don't want to be the team to lose to two. There's two teams you don't want to lose to right now. You don't want to lose to the Spurs in the West, and you definitely don't want to lose to the Pistons in the East. So understand this. Anytime
and
any team
Washington.
play, anytime any team plays those two teams, Wilson, it's the Super Bowl. It's the finals. We are not going to lose to these bums. And that's how everyone should come in with that mentality when you're playing the Spurs and when you're playing the Pistons. We cannot lose. We don't want to be a part of history. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, the Wizards too. They're in that same category. They're all like 3-20. Pistons, I think,
Wizards
like
got
two.
40. Didn't they get 50 almost against Joel and them on Monday?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Um,
Jesus.
Joel was a monster. That guy's a freaking beast. So, I mean, it's a league where it's like 5 or 6 guys averaging 30 a game this year. It's the most offense there's ever been, and the most good players there's ever been.
Right.
And so, yeah, yesterday we were able to survive against the Spurs. We play the Spurs again tomorrow,
Right.
and hopefully LeBron plays. If LeBron had played on Wednesday, uh, it wouldn't.
Deserving.
Yeah,
Okay.
he deserved that rest. But if he had played on Wednesday, it probably wouldn't have come down to that, you know. And so it's
Right.
if he plays, hopefully we'll have an easier time. But the Spurs, once again, the Spurs are just due for a win. So it's going to
They
be
are too.
somebody at some point. Hopefully it's not us. Um,
And let me just say this: the Spurs, they come out fast, don't they? I don't think they've trailed the first half of the last, I want to say, 4 games. They've been up on every team, including who came out. Who did I try to? I think was that wasn't the Hawks. Who was that? Wilson on Monday when it seemed like they were going to win that game and then they just gave it up at the end. Did they play the Hawks or did they play? I forgot who it was. It
I'm
was
not
it was
sure.
anyway. They come out strong. They come out fast. They're an athletic team, long team. Pause. And they hit you in the mouth. but can they withstand that drive? And they just get outplayed. They don't get outcoached. They get outplayed. And I just hope that that Darvin Ham doesn't get outcoached on Friday, and because we're definitely not going to get outplayed. So what's the kid Wimba? I love what he's doing. Loving the year that he's got having so far. Uh, I could see the camaraderie that team has, based on the certain the certain type of runs that they go on in these games. But we should come out victorious. If we don't, just look for ESPN and Stephen A. and all the Laker haters to just be making a big deal out of it, and try to come up with some type of narrative on, well, this is why we don't. I'm gonna tell you this: if we lose tomorrow, hanging that banner is going to look. It's going to put a target on us. Not people wanting to beat us, but people wanting to clown. They're going to all constitute it back to hanging that damn banner. Oh, you guys just hang a fucking banner and can't even beat the fucking Spurs. Like, it's going to be something. So it's a must win tomorrow. I'm coming out. It's a must win because we don't want to lose to the 19th, 18th losing streaking Spurs. Next. Period.
Yeah, and that's the last game for the Lakers this week. What else has been going on? Draymond Green got
I don't mean to cut you off. This is the only 10 seconds that they're gonna get. The Raiders crushed the Chargers tonight. I don't mean to switch sports. That's all I'm gonna say, Wilson. You don't have to say, yeah, I saw it or anything like that. We'll move on. But that's the only love that the Raider fans will get tonight. Two backup quarterbacks, two uncompetitive non-playoff teams, and the Chargers got embarrassed tonight. And I really hope the brother, what's his name for the Raiders? The coach.
Antonio Pierce.
Oh my God, Antonio Pierce, the way that you're doing, bruh. I love what you're doing out there, Tonio. Come on, Tony, man. I hope you get that job. I hope you get that offer because you've gotten them boys together. Them boys is playing for you. So good win for you, Tony, tonight. That was huge for you to get that rep and to maybe get that contract. So it wasn't so much of the Raiders, it was more Tonio for me. So big game tonight, Tonio. Big game. Anyway,
Antonio Pierce, he's a local guy. He's from LA, so good for him. But we'll have to see. They were playing well when McDaniels first got fired, and then they lost a couple games and they won the night. We'll have to see what happens.
Defense is always competitive, though. I will give the Raiders that. But other than that, let's move on. That's enough from enough. Enough about.
But yeah, as I was saying, Draymond Green suspended indefinitely by the NBA.
Can you explain what happened? Give me a little synopsis. Just a quick synopsis. What happened?
Well, against they were playing the Suns yesterday, I think it was 2 days ago. And Draymond kind of got, I don't even know if he got tangled up with Yusuf Nurkic, but he just spun around and he hit Yusuf Nurkic in the head.
Like one of these?
Yeah. And
what?
But he tried to say it wasn't on purpose, but it looked like it was on purpose. And so, he's already got suspended 5 games this year for, putting Rudy Gobert in a headlock. And so Adam Silver, the NBA, they come out, they suspend him for 5, they suspend him indefinitely this year, for this infraction.
You think it's in his head, like he's so used to doing these antics that it's just natural for him now. He maybe didn't even want to do that, consciously want to do it, but he's so. I'll tell you this. Some of those may say that he was born in the wrong era. He was born 20 years later, but the way I feel, they would have crushed Draymond Green 20 years ago, 30 years ago. They would have beat his ass. Charles Barkley would have beat his ass. And Charles Barkley he's only 6'6", 250. Charles would have beat his ass. Shaq would have beat his ass. Shaq would have. Can you imagine Draymond guarding Shaq? Shaq would have gave that boy an elbow. You think Draymond? Do you think Draymond would have fucked around with Shaq 20 years ago? That's what I'm trying to say. Like, is he doing this to try to intimidate or get away with? I don't know what his drive is. What's the purpose of all of this, dog? Because it doesn't affect the other team at all. It's not like when Draymond anymore. The antics used to work when they were on their run, but now it's old. And though they used to be momentum things. Oh, Draymond does this, and now the whole team's pumped up, and the other team, they're all out of whack and they can't concentrate. That shit don't work no more. Now it's just disrespect and just dangerous, man. Now, what are you doing, Draymond? So, you know, yeah, maybe you may think he belonged in another era, but then those that just like, dude, wake up. Like, are you conscious when you're doing this shit? Like, are you black? Well, like, come on, Draymond. So
Yeah.
that's my thing on that, man.
Yeah, at this point, it's like, okay, it's time to like actually start trying to figure out what is wrong with Draymond, right?
Right.
Because why is he doing this stuff? And I used to think that he was, he always seemed like the classic example of a guy who like a black guy who grew up without a dad in the home. He was always super. He was always super emotional and stuff. Which a lot of that's what you'll see a lot of times with guys who didn't have that masculine presence. But I
Right.
was reading up on it, and he said that his dad was in the home until he was like 12, and then
Dude,
I know his mother remarried, and he had uncles and stuff like that. So it doesn't seem like he was really just this kid who grew up with no men around.
yo,
So
he
I don't
had
know
Michigan
what is.
State coach. I mean, dude, he's had mentors. He wasn't doing that shit at Michigan State, but he was a emotional person, a player. His emotions. He wore his emotions on his sleeve at Michigan State, and that worked. There was a time where it worked. It was when Draymond did his stuff, it was more like not a plan thing, but it was a time thing. Like he knew when he was going to do it or when he needed to do it. Now it's just getting out of hand. You just being random with it now. And it's affecting it's affecting the team now. It is because it's not even doing anything to the next team. If anything, they pumped up and the I didn't know that it would look like this, but to me, maybe the Warriors are just over, bro.
Yeah, I think
Maybe.
it's over, man. I think that, and I was watching because they played the Clippers tonight. The Clippers have been playing a lot better after they,
Oh
were
yeah.
struggling with James when James first got there. And
Did Clay play? Did Clay play?
Clay played actually played well tonight. But
Okay.
the thing about it is that the key to the Warriors' run was that it was basically like a phenomenon where they drafted these two all-time shooters,
Man.
put them in the same backcourt. That was the basis for
Right.
everything that they did. And so, when Clay came back after missing 2 years, he really hasn't been the same player at any point since he's come back. But the more time goes on, the more he kind of deteriorates. You would think actually that he'd probably, start off slow. He would have started off slower and then picked it up, but he's really just getting worse and worse to the point that he's just about completely washed up now. And so the thing
Oh,
about it
don't
is that
damn man.
if,
Don't
if
don't
Clay
don't.
is just if
That
Clay is
hurts to
just
hear that.
another
That.
if Clay is just another dude, it's over because if everything they've done relied on him. That's why when he went down, they basically took 2 years off. It had if Clay Thompson is not Clay Thompson, the Warriors are not the Warriors. You
No,
know,
no. But washed up. Yeah, man. That shit is damn, wow. But that's a tough word, man. That slices you, man. Washed up. Clay Thompson washed up. How about he's just hurt? How about he's you know? But I look. If we're gonna be men, I don't want to sugarcoat anything, but I just wouldn't use washed up with Clay. I would more say injury took a toll. Because if injury didn't take a toll, I think Clay would still be playing at an all-time high and defensively and but injuries are part of the game, unfortunately, and you can tell it's fucked him up, man. So, and it's fucked him up mentally to where it looks like some games Clay's washed. But it's like Antho. When you, how can I say this? There was a time, I think everyone has this specific time in their life, in their basketball lives, where a shot, they don't even think about it. We don't even think about that shot. A shot becomes a layup. You know what I'm saying? A three becomes a layup. When you get into that mode, and Clay can't find it. He can't find that mode that he used to be in, man. He's thinking about the shots now. Rather than back in the day, it was like, I'll tell you this. I watched the game last week, and this is the first time in a long time. Clay took a three. I'm telling you, dog, you see Curry usually running down the court. You get what I'm saying? This dude Curry ran from the top of the three line and tried to rush and get the rebound. And I was like,
You're like, damn, it's over.
did you hear what I said, Wilson? The man tried to go get a board.
On his board.
I don't know if anybody noticed it, but I noticed it. So hopefully, Clay can come on to the Lakers. Come on, Clay. Come on, Clay. Because the shit that we got, a motherfucker can't no motherfucker hit a jump shot, Clay. If they doing you dirty and they not respecting the player you are, the legacy you've built, the banners you've helped put up, Clay, and you did it the right way. You did it the right way. High school, college, fought your way to the starting lineup. You did it the right way, Clay. You are a true champion. Come on down. We'll take you, Clay. Whether it be this year, no, whether it be next year, come on down, Clay. We want you because let me just tell you, name a better shooter on the Lakers right now than Klay Thompson. Anybody better than Klay Thompson? Because what I've seen is a lot of physical play, Wilson. We outman people. We man people up. Especially on that championship game. We didn't have any threes, I don't think, in the first half, but we had 40 to 50, 43 shots attempts from the inside. So thankfully we have that, because when it's gonna time to outshoot somebody like the Nuggets, high power shooting offense, and we and everybody, and they're playing good defense to counteract us too. We're gonna need a shooter. I don't. Besides, what's our point guard, D-Lo? We don't have that consistent guy from the perimeter. I keep preaching on this. So Clay, again, this is the last time I'm gonna say this, Clay. If you don't feel welcomed anymore out there in the Bay, come on down south to LA. That's all I'm gonna say.
Come on home. Says Vito. I think you watched, Clay. I'm sorry.
Oh,
but
maybe he needs a new change of scenery, man. God, Wilson, come on.
I just want to say quickly about Austin
You
Reeves.
thought Dion was washed when he went to the Ravens? No, he had a good year.
Dion was pretty washed. I was like 2005. What was that? 2000? That was like 2005.
Can he get a change of scenery? Did AI was washed okay on the Nuggets, but damn it, the change of scenery at least gave him that boost. He found his confidence again. Clay
he
won't
wasn't
find
washed
the
with the
same.
Nuggets. He was washed with Memphis and Detroit. That's where Clay is now.
All right. Change of scenery. Give him a shot.
are you happy enough with Austin Reaves? Because you're kind of critical of. I mean, I know you hate D'Lo, and I think you be kind of down on Austin Reaves too. But I look at it right now, and I feel like he's the sixth man of the year right now in
Okay.
basketball.
Okay.
Um,
He's averaging what, 15,
Around
13,
15,
14?
5 and 5 around there, you know. Um,
Okay.
and I just love the confidence that he plays with and the swagger he plays with, especially when he's coming out the bench. It's like he was, it's like it comes naturally to him, you know.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
and he's been playing really well. Uh, Lakers fans are always trying to find some trades, man. I like the team the way it is. Gabe Vincent will be back in a few days. So
Okay.
December 18th is his target date to return.
Okay.
Vando is back. They've only lost one game since Vando came back, and that was against the Mavericks. So Anthony Davis has been dominant. LeBron continues to just blow everybody's mind in year 21. So right on the Lakers sit at Lakers are 15-10, and I think the Lakers are fine. I think the Lakers should just stand pat, not make any trades. I think they got everything that they need.
Okay.
People, Pascal Siakam is supposed to be, somebody who can be on the trade, available at the trade deadline. Obviously, Zach LaVine
Ooh, that's huge.
has
And
been wanting to come
Pascal.
here.
Oof, we get
I love
Siakam.
Siakam's game, but I just don't know if I just like what we have now. Unless we can get him for some of the
Hey,
young
don't
pieces,
fuck up the
he makes too
chemistry.
much money for that.
Don't fuck the chemistry up. If we don't,
Right.
I always say as a Cowboy fan, Jerry, you get better by adding more better talent, not by dropping the fucking talent, Amari Cooper, but don't fuck up the chemistry either by adding unnecessary talent that's not
Right.
needed. So I like how the backups are doing for AD coming in and holding it down, uh, getting their minutes. But actually, there's no but. I wish I wish D'Lo would have more moments. I mean, have more consistency than moments. Because we win a championship with D'Lo doing D'Lo, which is scoring, coming in, get your assists. I like how he's 6'5", right?
Yeah, he's a big guard, like six
Dude,
five. Yeah.
I love, man, big guards, dude. Big guard. We have a big guard. You mean to tell me we have a 6'5" stone dead eye shooter when he's confident? And what I love about D'Lo's game is he can get to his spots inside the free throw line,
Mm-hmm.
inside the 3 line. I love
Mm-hmm.
how he can get to that free throw line and get that mid range.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want. I want D'Lo to be um like Clay is. I want that Clay mentality, D'Lo, because he has those moments where it's just like, oh, look how he get to his spot, boom, and he's on fire, boom. He should not miss any of those. The free throw line extended, those should be automatic for D'Lo. Boy, you're 6'5" and you're shooting over guards most of the time that are 6'3" and below you. So Austin Reaves. But yeah, if D'Lo can be D'Angelo Russ that I know he can be the shooter that just adds points, we're gonna be tough. That boy Austin Reaves, man, he showed me championship game against the Pacers. Uh, that's the game I was waiting for. That's the game I was waiting for because I have critiqued him a lot. I've been tough on him because there have been games where he's not producing and he's off. But yes, for what he's putting up this year, Anthony, and the performances that he's producing in big games. Uh, Six man of the year, man. He's for sure top 3 6 man of the year, man. Right now, before All-Star break, and he has the heart of a lion, if that makes sense. What is it? Not eye of the tiger, but um, yeah, heart of a
Yeah.
lion, man. That
Eye
guy.
of the Tiger. Yeah.
No, yeah, he comes at you. I don't want to. No, not Eye of the Tiger, but I'm talking about like heart.
Mm-hmm.
He comes at you, and he doesn't stop coming at you, and he's high percentage. He passes the ball. He does it all for us. And if he can stay like that, and D'Lo can keep contributing, I don't want to say championship, but Western Conference, yes. Western Conference, yes. And we know who it's going to be against. So, bar injury, any injury, I want to get us. Let's get to All Star. Let's finish the year strong. Finish the year off strong. Open the year up. Set the tone. And when it's time to play big teams again, like the Sixers, when it's time to play the Nuggets, when it's because the Suns that they're not going to be an easy put out, not this year, I don't think. So games like the Suns and Mavericks, when we have to go play Luca, we have to set that tone, Anthony. That's important. So if we get to the All Star break and we get that well deserved needed rest, can we be? Where are we right now in the West? Where are we?
15-10, but I'm not sure the exact because it changes every day.
Right.
Because the teams are so early in the season, and the teams are so close. Obviously Minnesota has the best record in the West, and then there's
Pull up,
OKC is up there, Denver is
pull up
up
our
there,
schedule. Pull up our
huh?
schedule. Pull up our schedule. I seen that boy from OKC tonight put up 40. I was sweet. But
Right, and then the Clippers are
tough
fourteen
beat.
and ten now.
I'm gonna just say this: this year's playoffs is going to be more competitive, and just like Georgia in college football, until they get beat, they get beat. And the Nuggets, until they get dethroned, they're the kings right now. They're the face of basketball. They're the champs. Um, the boy just came back from his injury, so they're looking to be healthy. But I like the division, and I like the. Um, it seems like the teams that are considered to be the super teams, they're gelling. So I can't see the Suns getting blown out like they got blown out and put out last year. And I can't see some of these teams that are the Clippers. I can't see them. Those are hard beats. Last year was Denver just went through the fucking league, right? They just went through the West in the playoffs like it was nothing, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I can't see that this year. I'm not saying that Denver's not gonna go through and win the West, but I can't see it being easy. So I was gonna say, pull up our right quick, pull up
Well, I'm
our
on my
schedule to
phone.
All Star
We're
to
both on
All
our
Star.
phones, so.
Oh, we're on both of our phones. Damn. Okay, so do you know of any big games coming up before All Star break? Like, do we play the Sixers again? Do we play?
I don't have a clue. Where's
Damn.
Mitch?
Where's Mitch when you need him? Yeah, you're right. You're right. 15-10, Anthony. Let's get on a roll. How about 25-12?
Yeah, that would be great.
I mean,
The thing about the NBA today is that, like you said, it's like look at there's really no how many easy games are there other than Detroit, who we already talked about, Detroit, Washington, and San Antonio. There's really, I guess, in like a Portland or somebody like that, there are very few like just gimme easy games
no.
on an NBA schedule for anybody. I
Right.
mean,
Right.
because
Right.
there's so many. The teams are every team has talent. Even the bad teams have talent. Detroit has some guys. You
Yeah,
know,
they do.
so but just before we end this tonight, I wanted to switch gears quickly.
Okay.
Vito, have you been following the Shohei Ohtani? Uh,
Of course.
they gave the man $700 million. He's going to be a Los Angeles Dodger, and then also today the Dodgers traded for Tyler Glass now, who's been during baseball season. He was a Prize Picks wagon of mine.
Right.
So the Dodgers just don't mess around, man. The Dodgers are always going to put themselves in a position to contend. And
top 5 top 5 trios of all time.
Of all time, if you think about
All
Mookie,
time, what they put
Freddie,
together.
and Shohei, and then to think that next year, not only are they going to have Glass now, but Walker Buehler will be back, and then you think about the fact that in 2 years, because Ohtani's not going to pitch next year, but in 2 years he'll be pitching. Think about that rotation, man. Even if Kershaw's gone, that's you think about Glass now and Ohtani and Buehler. That's 3 aces on one squad. You know, so. But I just want to know: do you think that it was worth it for the Dodgers to give this man $70 million a year over 10 years? If any, I really don't think any player is worth that type of money. Just because, I mean, how could they
he's
be?
not gonna get it
But he
until
deferred.
yeah,
All
that
but
was
$2
huge.
million of
That
it
was huge.
annually.
That was huge.
Yeah.
But I think they already had that in mind and planned anyway. Because he wanted to come to the Dodgers anyway. So he was coming, he was signing with us, and then they knew that all that big money, we weren't going to be able to get anybody else. So that was real sweet of him. That lets you know the boy wants a championship. He wants a championship, and we got the top 3, like I said, top 5 trio of all time. If you ask me, I'm excited. I'm excited but you know what? I think the first year he won't be pitching.
He's not going to pitch, right?
No, he'll be DH if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Not DH. No, he'll be doing some DHing, but he won't be pitching
Right.
based off that surgery. So we'll get a hitter, a Shohei who's focusing on nothing but hitting, and you know what the boy can do. That boy can hit. So excited, man. Is he worth the 70? Yeah, he's the unicorn.
The thing about it is that at what point is there any such thing? Because the Dodgers reached that point. Is there any such thing as like in baseball, like when the
There's no
Warriors had
payroll. No payroll.
right, but when the Warriors had Durant, that team was so good that it
Right.
was almost like, okay, might be the one of the few teams that is so good that they're impossible to beat, basically.
Right.
And what is that? I don't think there's any such thing as in baseball, but if there is, this Dodger team would be that. A team that it's like at a certain point, the team is just so good and so loaded that how
Wait a
could
minute now.
anybody?
The Yankees are putting together a fucking squad too. They're putting together a squad
And
too.
the Yankees back when we were younger, once they started, adding, Sheffield and A-Rod and Giambi and all those guys, it was weird is that they weren't winning with those teams. They were winning with the homegrown teams that they had before that. So that's why it's like there may be no such thing as a team that's so good in baseball that it can't be beat. But if there is such a thing, these
Right.
Dodgers would be that team.
Hey Wilson, I think these owners have a fetish for who can make or sign or make the next biggest, who can break the record of the contract record. They got, because they're so rich. These owners, they're so rich. That's their own competition. Like I say, when you say horse racing is the sport of kings, it literally is. You have billionaire owners and millionaire owners, and they're competing their best horse, literally. So that's what it is, and they're finding a rush, and that's the rush right now in baseball is what team can make the next highest paid player, dude. Because trust me, he won't be the last. Somebody's gonna break that. Somebody's gonna break it. But
Thing is,
what?
he made because who else was even? Did anybody else? I mean, like Mahomes.
Yes, I'll tell you right now. If the boy from Atlanta keeps doing what he's doing, they gonna have to rewrite that contract. He's on a tear. Have you Acuna? God damn, Acuna is worth money like that.
Well, it's
If you
different for
ask me,
Ohtani because Ohtani pitches
can
too. That's
pitch.
why. Yeah.
I understand. I'm not saying he's worth Ohtani money, but as far as being maybe number 2, number 3, number 4, something like that, close to Ohtani or close to record money, yeah. But Ohtani does it all. He pitches, so I understand. I understand. What was I gonna lastly mention about that? Do you expect a championship in the first year?
I already was expect absolutely. I mean, I already was. You already expect championships from the Dodgers, but absolutely, I expect a championship. It's just from here on out, it's literally championship or disaster. Not just championship or bust for the Dodgers, but championship or disaster.
Well, what's important is we're going to need left-handed hitting. Again, because the Yankees they're adding that left hand the lefties to their line to not the lineup but yeah, to the lineup. Shit, I'm tripping. So if you say championship, I'm not gonna say bust, championship or bust, but the first 3 years we should have a championship, dude. You know, Otani should not leave or retire without two or three.
Yeah.
Is that too much to ask for?
No, not at all. Not with this type of team.
Right. Two. I'll say two. Just out of respect for the league. Oh, that's what I want to say was this, Antho. These big bankroll organizations that have limitless money, they're learning that the lower payroll teams are still competing. So I like that. I like that. There's not a big gap in competition and in winning. Because if you go look at some of the payrolls of the playoff teams, they weren't, you know, like the Yankees and the Dodgers, you know.
Yeah.
So I like that's not a big divide. It's real close. That you don't have to have this big payroll. You don't have to have the payroll like the Yankees to win a championship. And that's what the Yankees used to be able to just live off, was putting these big super teams together. And what, they only have one or two championships in the last 20 years.
Right. Like I said, those were the teams that were winning them championships. So.
Right. So, but still, they still spend money and they're not producing championships though. So
Yeah.
that's something to that the Dodgers don't really have to turn into that after after Shohei retires and stuff like that. I hope that we don't have to come back with another contract like that, because best believe that guy won't be doing with what Shohei is giving up $2 million a year until the last year of his contract. Man, that's love, bro. So all we can do now is get better every year. Now we can have money. We basically don't have Shohei's contract for another 10, 15 years. Like, you know what I'm saying? We don't have it. So we got money to spend. We got money to spend, dude. Go get some pitching. Go get some left hand hitting and become the champions that represents LA, man. You know, the Dodgers always represent LA. And you know, Magic don't go nowhere either. He's not a part of any organization that ain't winning. Best believe that. So yeah, man, I'm excited for this year for baseball in LA.
All
Actually,
right.
before we go, man, I want to go get my Dodger hat.
It's over.
Yeah, so anyway.
All right. So before we get out of here, just a few reminders. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button next to the Complete Lakers podcast. If you prefer the audio version, remember to rate, review, and subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts. The show is also on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and every other major podcatcher. Make sure to follow the show on Twitter and Instagram at TC Pod Network and to like it on Facebook. Just search for the Complete Lakers podcast. And finally, send feedback and mailbag questions to Complete Lakers Podcast at gmail.com. We are out.